Hi folks, a very simple but effective way to get some editing feedback for your essays would be to use Word's grammar and style check. I'd estimate that half or more of major grammatical errors, as well as minor ones, could be avoided with simply a grammar and editing check. So I'm going to walk you through how you should do this, but I'm also going to offer a couple of warnings about the use of this tool. So first, this is not a foolproof tool. So the checker will identify things as errors that are not actually errors. So that means that each suggestion made by the checker needs to be double checked by you. So you need to go look at the suggestion and make sure that it's a correct suggestion before you make the change. Additionally, you'll want to note that with the style check in particular, that it will make suggestions that are subjective. That is, it will make stylistic suggestions that might be grammatically correct, but that the checker will identify as weak. So the clearest example of this would be with passive voice. If you check, make sure the checker's looking for passive voice, it will identify all those areas, and technically sentences in the passive voice are grammatically or can be grammatically correct. However, as a general rule, you'd rather have active voice rather than passive voice. Nonetheless, there are times when passive voice is appropriate and effective and shouldn't be changed. So all of this is just to make clear that you have to make the final decision regarding these changes that are made according, based on information from the grammar and style checker. It's a tool that will help, but you can't blindly accept things that it's suggesting to you. So in order to use the tool, you'll want to go to File, then you go down here to Options, and you're going to look at Proofing here. Right? In this area here, you'll find some options. So you want to make sure that the default actually is for grammar only, but you want to make sure to change to grammar and style. And it's important that you change some of the settings because the default settings do not identify several major grammatical errors. So click on Settings, and there are 4 changes that you want to make. First, in the grammar section, you want to make sure that this fragment and run-on section is changed. Again, the default will be a blank box here, but you want to make sure you've clicked on that. And then you also want to make sure that you've clicked on subject-verb agreement. For the style check area, you want to make sure again that you've checked the fragment box. And then again, default is typically that use of first person is blank. You want to make sure that that's checked. So you would click OK and then OK again. And so now your settings are in place. And you've got a couple of ways you could walk through your grammar and style check. You can look at these squiggly lines. You can right click and you'll see suggestions here. Or you could go to your Review tab, go all the way over here to the spelling and grammar icon and click that, and you'll see this pane pop up. And you have a couple of options here. So you can ignore or change as according to whatever error is there, right? And it also gives you some explanation here on some of these errors. So it may seem like a simple thing to do, but this is one more tool for you to use in the editing process in particular. So I would strongly encourage you to use it, but make sure that you're using it correctly. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.